But first, unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that the story currently dominating the headlines is the future of Labour leader Gordon Brown. Many are saying today is D-Day for him after Labour suffered its worst post-war result at the European elections. Mr Brown insists he is focused on the task in hand, despite a painful defeat in last week's local elections. So, should he stay or should he go? Do we really need a new PM at a time like this, Coleen?
Well, for me, he can't win, really, at all, either way. Because if he goes, it looks like he's you know, made all this mess and then just abandoned it and thought, oh, I've done all this, I need to get out. And if he stays, I really don't think he's capable now of fixing what he's done. So he can't win either way. And also, if he goes, I don't really trust or like anyone else to take his place. So whether it's just stick with who we know being rubbish or get a new one in
Being rubbish.
being rubbish.
Sherrie?
I think, do you know, I think we're all getting so passionate about it. I think that people feel that all the trust has gone. We all feel disillusioned, we feel alone, we feel without leadership. I mean, I just think it's the worst time in British politics ever. And I think something has to be done. There has to be a change, you know, to stop the BNP, there has to be something. And I don't know about you, but every day I get angrier and angrier about what's happening out there. And we all feel left. We don't feel we have a Prime Minister. We don't feel we have a government. We don't feel there's anybody out there saying anything for us or protecting us I just think, I don't know about you, but I feel absolutely incensed with this whole thing.
Do you want him to stay or go?
I don't think there's any question whether he should stay. I think he's selfish. I think he's doing exactly the wrong thing to the country. For all of us, he should go. We have to have a change.
Personally, I think he shouldn't have been there in the first place. But aside from all of that, I do think that there's a feeling of total powerlessness. We just feel so powerless to do anything. We can't change anything because he won't call an election. Now, you know, it's debatable whether or not there's any point in him calling an election, because a lot of people are saying, well, who do we vote for? We don't trust any of them. But it has to be up to the people now. It's as simple as that, because he's unelected. He isn't even elected by his own party. No one challenged his leadership of the Labour Party. And so, you know, I just think at this point, when everybody is so upset, and, you know, if Sherrie's upset and Coleen's got an interest in it, then there must be something wrong. So, you know, he simply has to call a general election, but he's not going to, because I think he seriously, genuinely believes that we still want him to be Prime Minister, we still want that party to be in power, and he thinks he can change things by next year. He's deluded.
To be fair, I know it's not scientific, but this morning, earlier today, did a poll, and it was very close. I think it was just over 50% of people who took part in the poll wanted him to go, but it wasn't as huge a gap as you would imagine.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, although there are those in his cabinet and indeed in the Labour Party who are trying to get a revolt going, there are as many standing behind him. So I think it's a lot closer than we think. And for myself, I can't bear. I think there's a huge level of self-absorption, of narcissism within the politicians, that they're so caught up in saving their own careers and saving their own necks and saving their own positions that they've lost all sense that what's the best thing for the country.
Yeah, he's bad for them because they know they've all been rumbled and they're all going to lose their jobs. So they want to replace him with somebody else. And again, it's not going to be up to us. It's going to be up to them again, because they want to save their own skins and make me sick.
Well, it may be D-Day for Gordon today, but Saturday, of course, saw the 65th anniversary of the real D-Day, and the deceased and veterans who fought were remembered. Nicolas Sarkozy, Barack Obama, Gordon Brown and Prince Charles were all there, but the absence of the Queen was well noted amongst many of the veterans. Now, there's been lots of speculation as to why Her Majesty didn't attend, with some claiming she wasn't formally invited. But should she have attended anyway, Sherrie?
Well, of course she should have attended. She was on the throne when we, you know, in World War II. Of course she should have attended. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know, that she wasn't there. I mean, Prince Charles was there, but she felt so alone, you know. Why wasn't she there, you know? I mean, she was part of all our war, you know. She was part of all that period, and her mother and the royal family were there when, you know, we were part of the World War. And of course she should have been there for us, for our sakes, for the British. And you know, all those men that are out there was one man, Ernest, I think his name was, who was 86, who actually said to Prince Charles, where is your mum? You know, where's your mother? And Prince Charles just shrugged. You know, and that's dreadful, because that man and all those men of that age will never be able to do that journey again. So they will never be able to see their queen, you know, that they fought for. Those young men that went out that night and fought for their country, they will never be able to do that again. How sad must that be for them, never to be able to go there again?
Well, as we know, there's all sorts of confusion as to why she wasn't there, and
Doesn't seem very clear.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we don't really know what happened, whether she was invited or not, etc., etc. However, I do personally think that she should have, you know, they could have got round it. They could have just changed her arrangements. I think she was at the Derby. You know, I think they could have just sorted it out, and I do personally think that she should have just dropped everything and gone. Now, I love the Queen, and she can't do anything wrong in my book, but I do think she should have been there.
She wasn't actually on the throne, was she, during World War
No,
II?
she
No,
wasn't.
and you know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean,
but she participated. She was driving ambulances and
yeah,
things,
and the
wasn't
father
she? Yeah.
and the royal family were part of that period. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah,
Do you see what I
absolutely.
mean?
Whereas
And so
the
it was
Gordon
really
Browns
important.
and the Barack Obamas, you know, weren't
No,
around at that
hopefully.
point. Yeah. Well, we'll take a bit of a break here, but stay with us, because coming up, does this scare you? Scares me. Back soon.